All right, let's just feed is better. Here. So we were talking about the warrior spirit, and we all have one within us, and it's time to bring out that warrior spirit. That warrior spirit's trying to get out in all of us, but some people are resisting it. The more you resist it, the more crazy you're going to go, and I'm not talking good crazy. So it's something that you need to pay attention to. If you see injustices in the world going on and it really hurts your heart, you need to say something about it. Hey, Lisa, can you hear me? Everything coming through fine? So we're smudging, and I'm getting a lot of smoke up here because it needs it. Hello, Danielle. You guys all hear me? It's like we're having a little weak connection problem today, so hopefully we can get through with this video. Bringing out the warrior spirit, talking about it. Your greatest weapon is your heart for one and knowledge for another. Those are your greatest weapons. Those are the only weapons that need to be used. But you do need to use that mental force. You know, it does take a balance between passivity and force. We do need to defend ourselves and protect ourselves from the evil that does and is controlling a lot of what, you know, our reality. And they're losing control of it. And that's where we've got them. That's why I know what this is. Love is much more powerful than what they have. And this is an esoteric battle. This is a spiritual battle because the powers that be, I won't mention any names. God rest, or, you know, may peace be with the one that passed this morning. He has a lot to answer for. I won't go any further than that. Namaste. Love to him. Love to all and his family. But basically, we do need to speak up. It's time to speak up. It's time to let that heart shine through. This is probably going to be a short video because we're having problems with connections because I've got it's really windy outside for some reason. But basically, you know, use that warrior spirit. It's within you. You've been listening to it all your life, but a lot of us kind of put it on the back burner and we put it on the back, back in the back where we don't really pay attention to it. We tend to suppress it, and that's not a good idea. Suppressing it, especially right now because there is an awakening happening. So those who don't really follow their heart are going to continue to live within that darkness, and that's not something we want. Natalia, is anything wrong with you health-wise? It's all about opening up spiritually, like we were just talking about. That's funny. Spirit's really telling me, hey, you know, reiterate this because this is you need to understand and listen to your voice within. You listen to too many others and not yourself. Does that make sense? Sage keeps going out, which usually means the positive energy's back, but I'm just making sure. Connection is still weak. Does anybody else have any other questions? So we were talking about the warrior spirit and the warrior spirit within us. And basically we need to start studying ancient text. If you want to know the truths, the real truths of what's going on right now, we need to go way back. I would recommend listening to some, and a lot of it's like poetry or it's in parables. So, you know, the reason they put it in parables in these old texts, even the Bible, is so this wouldn't get edited. This wouldn't get destroyed because this is you know, knowledge that needs to be here for the people. Well, the thing is that the Bible's been edited. A lot of these other spiritual works have been edited and changed and modernized. So a lot of these ancient teachings have gotten lost within the shuffle. So I would recommend the Emerald Tablets, to look those up. YouTube, there's a lot of connection on there. There's a lot of videos on there talking about Thoth and the Emerald Tablets that we've actually found, supposedly. I would recommend the Kabbalah, Kabbalah, I believe. I hope I got that right. But we need to study these ancient texts because this is what's going on. There's a lot of the things that have happened within our recent past or the last 20 years, or even, well, I mean, we can go back further and further, different events in history. But basically what's going on is this is an occult type of thing going on that the powers that be are using against us. A lot through symbology. I know this is really crazy and hard to believe, but it's true. You know, I've done a lot of research on this over the last couple of weeks, and what I've found as truth, and my perception of it, is they are using the dark. They are using the light as dark, if that makes any sense. It can be used for light and dark. They're using it for dark purposes, which is to have control on this whole entire world, all of us. How you doing, Michelle? First time viewer. Nice to meet you. So, if you see a post, even on Facebook, I mean, this information that's getting shared, this is one of the best weapons we have as well. And a lot of people don't understand that, or they don't think it's as big of a deal as it is. But the reason that a lot of current events have happened is because of us on Facebook sharing things, sharing information, so we can all learn, so we can all be on the same page. Because yes, you're gonna get a lot of that stuff that's misinformation. I don't want to say that's not truth either. It's just the lower base of truth. It's not the ascended truth. Ashley asked me, "Hi, will my baby be healthy? Due October 31st?" Yeah, very healthy, very healthy. I want to say around 8 pounds, maybe a little less. Hello, Amber. So we need to start researching some of these old texts. I'm not religious. I rebel against religion. That doesn't mean that you can't be religious. Doesn't mean you can. You know, I'm saying that it's bad to be religious. It's not. But I've always been this way. I want to learn from all aspects of life, all cultures. And there's a common thread between all of them, yes. But like I said, a lot of it's been edited, so we want to go way back. And there's plenty of information. YouTube, do a Google search for some of the things I've said. And I'll try to leave some links here at the end of the video. But there's plenty of information out there, and basically what's going on is there is a second coming of Christ, but that just means Christ waking within us. We're changing this world. We're changing the universe. Because we're all connected to the universe, the multiverse. I mean, we can keep going on, and that's way up there. It's probably too deep. We don't want to talk about that yet, but we'll talk about it in future feeds. But basically, we all need to wake up. We need to start not thinking so pragmatically and logically. This is the time of the feminine energy to come in and rule. I don't want to say rule, but it's the ruling energy because we need balance. Because we've thought too pragmatically and too logically. It's cut off our imagination. And what we don't understand is imagination is just as much of an element as earth, wind, fire, water. That ether is there. And we all need to understand that it's there. That spiritual energy that we receive every day is there. That's important to understand and know as truth, because it is truth. Stop putting it off. Stop passing it away as if that's crazy, or if I think, and some people just, I want to talk about it because it makes me sound crazy. Well, you're a good crazy. We're being ran by bad crazy. We're being controlled by bad crazy. Our spirits, our souls are being kept in, how would I explain this? In a soul, we're basically kept in captivity by them. There's a lot that we haven't learned that they've kept from us, or they've edited out over time. I mean, thousands of years it's happened. But it's built up to this point, and now we're at critical mass. And now we are about to change. Actually, things are changing right now. I mean, if you pay attention, if you look real close, it's small changes right now. But there are things changing because the collective energy is changing, because our collective reality is changing, because we're changing it. But the more people we wake up, the more people we inform about this, and that to know there is a creator, there is somebody that is looking over us. But we need to do these things for ourselves. That's why we're here. Diana asks, "Hi, is it going to be a good year for me and my husband?" Yeah, it's all in the way you guys deal with each other. I mean, your perceptions of each other and where you're coming from are getting mixed up. So there's a lack of the communication. You really need help in the communication. Just speak more of your mind, even if you feel like it's going to upset them at the time. Be more honest. Don't dance around it with other words. So anyway, to kind of wrap up this, and I'll try to answer a couple more questions here, but this is basically about a second coming of love, and once you really wake up and you can kind of from the outside in see that you were sleeping, you'll understand we've let things go. So many things just we've ignored that have really built up to the situation we're in right now, or the situations, because we've ignored it for so long. Yes, I am talking about politics. I'm talking about social behavior. I'm talking about all of it. Everything encompassing, all encompassing, everything, every aspect of our lives. We need to start thinking of things as far as thinking about each other and what we can do for each other and how we can help each other. And how, have love and compassion for even some of the ones that we don't feel like we should. Love is the best weapon against negativity, against the dark. The light will always shine brighter. One flashlight will shine up, enormous amounts of darkness. Think of yourself as that beacon of light. Blessings to you, Diana. Anyway, if there's no more questions, I have got a reading here. Let me see what time it is. Yeah, I do have to get prepared for this reading coming up, so I love you all. Remember, share this information. Like and share this video, please. Like and share my page, if you could. And I will be back soon. I'm going to start doing more videos because I'm working with different people in different groups. We're kind of gathering and merging so we can make this happen. But it's far from over. We've got a lot of work to do. Will your sister, Ashley says, will your sister get pregnant? Yes. I'd say next year, probably around the fall. So 2018 fall is when I see a conception. All right, y'all. Love to all of you. Bless you all. Have a good evening. Have a good afternoon. Have a good morning, wherever you're watching. Remember that. Bring out that warrior spirit. It's time.